Hello, Spud.
How's it going, Tommy Kelly?
It's terrible. I hate my life. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? The whole week I was thinking I was going to start with something, and now I blew it. Damn it.
I know. I'd be having it myself. Oh, how will I open this? And then when it comes to it, goes, what was it? What was that really funny thing I thought of last Tuesday?
Ask me again.
Well, Spud, what's crack?
My name's Jonas. I'm carrying the wheel. How deadly is Dark?
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Dark is class, huh? And it's like, I know I'm probably really late to this, am I? Or is it pretty recently on Netflix?
No, it came on as the season 1 and all that, but people kind of only, the core cool people, as usual, knew about it straight away, but I think it only started really getting popular when season 2 came out. So,
Class.
Yeah, it's really
all of the woo people need to watch it. All of the woo, yeah. Yeah, it's great.
And it's you haven't even got to the really woo bits yet.
There's more woo bits coming.
It gets much woo.
It's mad as well because, like, I was watching it and I just does be reading her book or whatever when I'm watching telly, and the first couple episodes are really creepy.
Yeah.
And then it stops being creepy. Then, like, it's just weird then because it's time traveling and like, okay, who is where and what the fuck is going on and who is who and what's happening, you know?
It kind of starts off like as a horror and then it goes, oh no, that's a sci-fi, and you go, oh no, this isn't sci-fi. What is this? I'd say it's the best cast TV show I've ever seen because without, how do I say this without spoilers? You're right. When you see people at different times in their life, that's probably the when they're kids and when they're older. And you can recognise everyone.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It looks similar. Yeah. It's mad. It's well done, the casting. And as well, I found out that it's not too bad to fancy Martha because she's 23, so it's grand.
All right, so it's okay. She's not.
Yeah, so you don't have to feel bad about yourself. She's not. They've done that American thing of putting the 23-year-old in a teenager's role. You know? Yeah,
but context does matter in all things, but so
I was thinking that there's an awful lot, like, I'm nearly 40 and I'm thinking like, Jesus, that girl's lovely, and it's like, no, she's too young. But like, I'm too old to be her dad. I'm not old enough to be her dad. I'm not old enough to be her dad.
Yes, you are.
Well, I am biologically. I am, but like, come on, like, no one was having sex with me.
But think, if this was 100 years ago and you were in Ireland, you'd be getting married to a 14-year-old. So I mean, come on, we've at least progressed a wee bit.
Or I'd be like, a year from death with 3 teeth left.
Yeah. Life's great. Anyway, I started by saying life was terrible, so I have to explain myself before we get into things. You remember when I was said, right, I'll get on to the next stage of my comic and I'm going to do Unreal Engine, and then it all fell apart.
Is this an eye thing?
No, my eyes have got fucked again.
Here we go.
I'm not talking about it. Sick of it. Don't mention it.
Your comic, what's wrong with this?
So remember when I said, right, I'm on to the next stage, going to do Unreal Engine, and then it just decided Unreal Engine went for, yes, I'm going to eat all your files, and then it took me a week and a half of hell. So when I got that sorted, and that's not fully sorted, that's like, I found a workaround that allows me to more or less do what I want. So then I goes, right, great, start getting into the drawing. And then Clip Studio went, nah, I'm not going to work now. So I spent the last week trying to fix Clip Studio. I'm so sick of stuff. It's like every time I go to do something, it's like, no, hold on, we'll just have a week and a half of hell before we'll allow you to do that.
Yeah, not fair. It's the universe getting in your way, like, isn't it?
Well, it's obviously in a kind of the Alan Chapman kind of thing. Well, not just him, but that whole idea of shadows and roles and stuff like that. It's a role I play. This is so a theme in my life that happens all the time. But I can't work out. See, here's the whole thing about it. So if you know something like that is going to happen, so you go, right, well, I can prepare for that. Are you actually manifesting that? Are you creating that kind of scenario for it to happen? But if you ignore it, and then you're not kind of, rising to the challenge of it, or you're not trying to face it, or you're not trying, so it's like, it's hard to know. And then there's the other side of it, it goes, it probably happens to everyone. But I don't think it happens exactly the same way to everyone as it does to me, because I have people around me who have seen it happen and, have noticed that kind of, because everything will work fine. It's only when I move to try to do something personally meaningful for myself that things start going wrong. It even happened the other day when we were doing recording, and we were doing recording for the new music and stuff, and it was all going fine, and it goes, right, I'm going to do my own thing, just for me, just whatever, and the computer, I'm not doing it, not working.
It'll work.
Yeah. So yeah, so from a kind of a magical point of view, there's definitely something going on there. But if you were talking to what's his name? Jesus Christ, my brain. Atheist dude, Richard Dawkins. Oh my God, he'd just go, yeah, shut up, will you? So there's part of my brain's going, yeah, shut up. Another part's my going, no, please believe me, please believe me.
Yeah, I think that sort of stuff is. Yeah, I'm a bit like you, but I don't get it as hard as you, as harsh as you. Like, I'll have stuff that'll just go. Like, I used to have awful trouble with my laptops over the year and stuff like that. And every now and again it does as well. But I think now I have just kind of accepted it as, you know what, that's someone telling me something. Step away.
Yeah, that's fine. And that I have that. But what is it telling me? Telling me that I shouldn't be doing any of this stuff, that I shouldn't be doing
No, it's not. No.
You see that, but that's, and I don't think it would be but like, you could make a huge case for that.
You're not ready, or something isn't right with what you're doing.
Right. Every time I do something.
Every time. That's the way I would look at it.
Yeah.
No, but maybe they're saying, like, for example, with the song, maybe they're saying the song's not finished. The song's not ready. The song you're doing.
Oh, I know. I get. Yeah, but it wasn't even that. It was me trying to sit down on the piano and write. So it was me trying to get on the start of the creative thing. So I'll record this bit and I can do my segment, and I just go, no, you're not. Nothing's allowed to happen. And it's like, you see, it's very hard to talk about without the whole poor me, and I'm aware I have a poor me, but I also have to.
Well, I'll stop you though. So
I know. But it's like, but it's trying to, delineate between the poor me and hold on, there seems to be something actually happening where, and that's similar to the poor me, so it's still part of that whole kind of team and all that. But it was last night, and I've been on to the support all week trying to get this sorted. It's mostly working, but one particular thing won't work to do with 3D integration, and I need that to be sorted before I can do other stuff.
So I don't know, I'm going to jump in now. Why do you need 3D for your comic?
Because I'm doing all the kind of the 3D stuff, the Unreal, the import and all that kind of stuff that I've spent the last 2 or 3 months working out.
No, what I mean, but a comic is 2D.
Yeah, what's your point?
So, like, you can't do a comic in 3D, Tommy.
No, 3D integration into it, not making a 3D comic.
I don't know what that means, Tommy.
Right, so say you were in, let me see, Photoshop, and you wanted to import, I don't know, a car model so that you could have it as reference.
Okay.
When I tried, so that's the integration of 3D, that you're going to have it, bring it in. When I do that in Clip Studio, it goes, no, and crashes.
Shit, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is a huge, one of the big selling points of Clip Studio is this 3D integration thing. So,
Aha, okay.
Yeah.
So, I understand you now.
Which is not something I use an awful lot of, say, because I'm doing most of the kind of 3D background stuff, reference stuff in Unreal Engine. So, but it's just there's a certain bits that there's crossover and stuff in you. But I've been talking to them all week, the support guys or whatever. But I think they're Japanese, so it's like I don't think they're obviously not their native language, or at least sometimes you'd be thinking you're talking to someone in a call center in India or something like that, and they're in Tala, and it's like you're going, oh right, sorry about that.
But like it's a big, it's the biggest program in the world, isn't it, for comic makers, comic designers,
one of the many
writers.
Yeah.
So they should have enough resources for you. That's a fucking pain in the
Oh no,
arse,
they're great. Like, I mean, and they get back to me and they send me, any amount of copy and pastes from their logbook that they send to people. But I keep sending them videos and stuff like that. I'm going to have to uninstall Windows and start again. That's just like
the whole Windows you're going to have to do.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
Because there's I can't see another way around it. Because if I install it on my other computer, it works fine. So it's something. I don't know. It's just last night just got to me. It's going like, what's the point in, you buy a new computer, you spend all the money, you do everything right, and you still, if you put Clip Studio on your laptop, your 10-year-old laptop, I would do what I wanted to do. If I put it on an equivalent laptop, it just wouldn't work at all. Anyway, I'm sick of my own voice complaining about it, so I'm done with something else.
You get there. But look, try and not take it personally. It could be your HGA or something like that. Just say, you know what, it's not ready. You're not ready, or it's not ready. The story has yet to click in place properly, or you're going into this too fast. maybe take it to a couple of days off it and just don't think about something else.
Days off? I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
No, I know, I'm the same as well. Even fucking hell, like, what is a day off? I mean, I even do a couple of hours every Saturday and Sunday, you know, just hammering at the laptop, you know. Although I lost everything because I got my phone back and I lost all my I took some fucking writer's advice about by using my voice, by saying not to type down your ideas, put them into a voice memo, and lo and behold, my phone got sent back to the warranty that was under warranty, and it's the one bit of the phone I forgot to back up, so I've lost all my notes on the story. So you know that's another thing. Maybe, you know, that she's just saying, nah, it was shit, you need to start again. Okay, fine. I remember the main bits. So.
I know, but I mean, who's in charge of your life, though, then?
I'm obviously fucking not. Would you leave me in charge of my life, Tommy? You know how much of a fuck up I am. Jesus.
I did do a divination about it, and I got the conductor, which is interesting, because it is about taking charge of your own life. Yeah. And so they're around that kind of thing. But also come up the tinker, so I don't know. I'm from Loud, so I can't pronounce H's in words.
Why didn't you call him the ponderer?
I know, yeah, I know. So like the tinker's, it's like it always comes out wrong. It's like Periwinkle Blue Boys. And,
try and sell you food. No, I won't say that. Yeah. The Yankee listeners won't have a fucking clue what you're talking about. Look, while you're on the 40, thanks for doing the thing for me last week.
Oh yeah.
So I got the protector for crossing the abyss, and now I'm all freaked out about crossing the abyss.
Well, you should be. It should be. That was my point.
And like, the more and more I read on it now, the more I'm getting freaked out about people's experiences of doing it. But I think either Alan Chapman or Duncan Barfoot, one of them said, and in another book that I'm reading at the minute, I don't remember his first name, Chang, and it's about the link between the tarot cards and the Tree of Life, which is mad.
Yeah.
And he even says at the start, is like, look, this might be a total coincidence. This might be. We can't rule it out. But it's a bit strange that it all matches up so well, you know?
Yeah.
So, because there's stuff like the Tree of Life, there's the paths between the things. So there's like the cards that symbolise that, and they're the cards you're supposed to think about when you're meditating on going from one part of it onto another. And then like on the Tree of Life, like, as human conscious beings, we're only like at stage 4 or something. There's all the other ones days. To go ahead, like some days, yeah. Then there's all the other ones, and then like there's like, so you have the Malkuth is at the bottom, but then at the bottom of that one there's 4 versions that come off that for the 4 alchemical water, air, fire, and earth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so there's that, but then then you can expand it more, and there's like 64 trees of life, and you're supposed to be somewhere on them at every moment of your life, just going la 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 la. Where am I supposed to be? What am I doing? Like, you know.
And then you read Crowley, and if you go by the book of the law, that he switched some of the cards around. So that's I love when people do that.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. Well, yeah, because your man, he goes through all of the cards individually in this book. It's a heavy book. It's hard enough to read, but it's good. And he explains all of them, and kind of explains why Crowley named cards differently, and why he used something like, say, like the Golden Dawn and the Rider White card would look similar.
Eon for judgment and stuff like that. Like
changed, and the wheel, there's a few different ones anyway. And he explains why he did that and stuff like that, but like he pays very little attention to the Marseille cards. It's mostly
I suppose the Marseille cards are the least kind of esoteric kind of, well, depending again on who you ask. I'm sure Joe Tomowski, or whatever way he likes pronouncing his name, thinks they're very esoteric. So I would.
Yeah, there was a fella. I think I sent it to you. I don't remember his name. He has a couple of really good books. He's like, he's very, very similar to Robert Anton Wilson. Very, very similar. He looks like him, speaks like him a bit. And he has a thing about, he has a lecture on the Theosophy, I think, YouTube channel, or Theosophy USA or something like that. He has a lecture about tarot and where the major arcana come from, these trumps, and the trumps were these based on these different festivals that they had throughout the year in Central Europe.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which is really cool. And like some of them still go on. So like say for example, you know that famous one in Spain where they throw the tomatoes at each other? Tomatoes.
No.
You don't know this one?
No.
Yes, it's massive festival. Thousands and thousands of foreigners come in for it, and it's just they let people loose with just trucks of tomatoes that won't go to market because they've too many tomatoes. So they just bait the shite out of each other.
It's like the EU butter mountain. This is the Spanish tomato mountain.
So I have a friend from a small city in Italy, about an hour outside of Torino, and they have the exact same festival except with oranges.
Right, no, that's less fun festival.
Imagine the pain of that, and they do this cool thing of like they separate the city into I think eight sections, and so 7 of the communities will be in the city square, and then on like a tractor and trailer will come in the baddies of that part of town, and everyone just stands there with fucking oranges pelting them at. There's lads show up with like suits of armour and all, because they're oranges, they're gonna hurt. You know?
I think they have the same type of festival in Limerick, only to use knives, guns and stones.
That festival traces back to one of these old trumps. And for example, one of the trumps that's still going around Europe is, Krampus.
Yeah.
He's one of these.
German dude, isn't he?
Yeah, German dude. He's like the anti-Santa.
Yeah.
So he's pretty cool. They do it in Austria where we go, and the lads get drunk and dress up as these scary, demonic, ghouly things. It's cool, you know. But I think it's very interesting. I don't know how I got to that. The Protector, so I need to look after myself.
Did you get to the bit in the Baptist Head trilogy books where Alan talks about his Coran's-on encounter and stuff?
Yeah.
Time slows down and all that.
Yeah, and he just kind of ignores him, and just because he reads up on it and says he's told to ignore him, and just he has this scene where he's sitting on this rocky outcrop like in Star Wars. And Coran's-on is like, I'm gonna fucking get you. I'm gonna sort of fucking. And Alan is like, yeah, I was told to be quiet and ignore him, even though I was shitting my pants.
Was there something about the clock stops or something as well it's this whole thing is like it's 5 to 6, and then he thinks like it's 12 hours later, and he looks back at his clock and it's 2 minutes to 6.
Yeah. He was all freaking out. Tried to watch reality TV for a while and couldn't settle, and then something happened in the bathroom. A light exploded or something.
Oh yeah.
2 electricians came to fix it. None of them could explain why it happened. And
it's the same thing. So can I blame Coran's-on for my Clip Studio thing? Maybe it's him.
Blame him. Blame him for everything.
So essentially, it's not just a work problem. It's a matter of my spiritual destiny. So I'll get on to the sport guys on Clip Studio and go, listen lads, this is a matter of my spiritual destiny. I think you want to send me a bit more resources, take this a bit serious. They'll go, what?
Come here, so I have to do a candle offering to the Protector. They're helpful in returning curses or magical attacks. There's not any magical attack though, is it?
Well, Coran's-on, it could be classed as a magical attack, but without maliciousness, I suppose. What you're kind of.
Who would have been your inspiration for the Protector card?
I don't know. It's hard to know. That original drawing, someone asked me to do a cover for a book, and it was kind of a cult related. It was a horror thing or whatever. And so I kind of started it, or I did it and sent it to them, and then went, "Oh, it's not happening. Sorry for wasting your time." I went, all right, but I liked the kind of the image. And then so when I was putting together the 40 servants and I was going through all the different bits of stuff, that kind of popped out. And then you have obviously the decagram, I don't know if that's right. So it's while we have the pentagram with 5 points, the thing behind it is 10 points.
Okay.
Which I thought was kind of cool. It's just literally 2 pentagrams. You overlap them in Photoshop and turn it slightly around or whatever. But I don't know, there's just kind of that thing of the Protector being a kind of a COVID, I suppose. And a COVID, whatever it is.
COVID-19.
It's
card number 19, oh my God!
But they're usually like kind of, I suppose in a sense, harbingers of doom, or there's some sort of, particularly in magic. When you see in a film or in a TV show, it's actually in Black Spot as well, where there's these 2 kind of ravens, and you go, oh, that's, something bad's about to happen. So kind of like, I like that kind of thing, which is also it's used in The Messenger as well, which, The Messenger is about the bird and the person. mercurial type of character as well, because in communication is a two-way thing, and you can't have communication in one way. So there's the dualistic thing to the messenger, but it has that kind of bird thing. And also, I'm terrified of birds. Like, that's my phobia is birds. So I thought that would be a kind of a very interesting thing to have. Then your protector as a bird, because if it's the most terrifying thing to me, then it's going to be the reason. Like, I mean, it's a phobia, and I know it's what's the whole thing about phobias is that they're not that it's not real, but it's
learned. It's learned, isn't it?
No, not that it's learned, but that it's you've blown it out of proportion. Like, it's not a proper response to it.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be, like, you can't have a phobia in a sense of heights in the same way you can have birds, because it's a proper response to heights is to be, but not the proper response to spiders isn't to be as terrified as people tend to be. That whatever. But I was attacked by birds twice when I was a kid, and I kind of that kind of has led into a sort of phobia. So maybe you should be scared of birds. I don't know.
Were you walking around with a packet of sausages in your pocket?
No, I was once I had say, when you were a kid and you set up a tent in your back garden, and because you're an explorer and you had all this thing, but the bird came in and obviously it freaked out the bird and it just went nuts in me. And then I was just not that long after it, I was walking down the street and a bird came up and pecked a bit out of my face.
What?
Yeah, so that was weird.
That's fucking weird, eh?
Yeah, but of course then you have the things of like the Morrigan, which is the represented by the kind of bird thing as well. So that's that would fit in with the locale and stuff like that. So if you want to have a magical kind of looking. So yeah, the what was the exact question you asked me about what was my inspiration?
Yeah, what was the inspiration for the protector?
Yeah, so all that. So it's the most terrifying thing for me. I thought would be the best thing to protect me then. Oh, hold on, my wires are getting caught. But yeah, I'm sure there's like it's a bird with a cloak, so he's obviously he's the king of the birds or something, or he's some sort of level above. I suppose the archetype thing of some sort of birds. Yeah, it's an interesting one. What you're kind of reading, like when you see the protector and stuff like that?
I'm just kind of reading here. That's kind of when I went quiet. Because look, I know I use the cards every now and again, but I don't know them as well as. Obviously, I don't know them as well as you, or as well as most of the people that use them a lot. I'm just seeing here, it says, in divination, the true implications of this card, more than a lot of others, will be known by the cards appearing around it or the question asked. So, yeah, there was no other cards. That's not good to me.
Well, I suppose in the context of your...
It's for the context of what it is. No, I suppose, but you say it in the video as well, like, I am taking it seriously, but I probably wasn't taking it as seriously. But I know that, like, I've asked Minerva myself, like, is path working? And no, sorry, that's a lie. I didn't ask her about the path working. That's what I'm going to ask her next. But I had asked her because I had been looking into this. What's the word of it? Dissolution. Dissolution of the ego. Is that what I should be looking towards? Is that what I need to learn about? And I mentioned this anyway. No, but the answer that I got from it was the Lover's card, which is, according to Mr. Chang's book, the Kabbalistic Tarot, the Lover's is the path card that links the HGA Sephiroth. What the fuck is the name of it now? Tiferet. Is that it? From Tiferet up to the top left one. Whichever it is, that one's called. So that's the one. That's the crossing the abyss line. You know what I mean? So that was. And it's interesting. I suppose if you want to look at the lovers and the 40 servants, it's the idea of the kind of not the lust, not the the spark, but it's when the couple arrives. The thing. So there is that kind of dissolution, but not a destruction. It's like a synergy of two things coming together, which is also a good description, I suppose, of the crossing the abyss or that. Yeah, and what Chang says is that the Crowley's card in particular represents it's not sexual or carnal or anything. Yours aren't either. It's not that, but it's that if you're getting into something, it's to do it with your full heart. And so it's a bit like the protector is right. Look after your arse. But the Lover's card for this path working is saying, right, if you're getting into this, like, go into it wholeheartedly. Don't go in half-arsed because you'll fuck up. You know, so like I have taken a step back from it because I'm buying books and bought a couple of books over the weekend where I can just learn more about it and be a bit more prepared. Like, okay, I can read Chapman's book and just go at it from the chaos magic type of thing, but I think now from the signs I've been given it, learn a bit more, and you know, and take your time on it. Because like as well, like the boys in the book, like they're young lads. Then they don't have kids or responsibilities.
No.
They both have jobs. They both had jobs that they didn't like.
Yeah.
You know, that was it.
Just working in an office or something like something
that was
very
it. You know,
normal. Like.
Duncan hated his job, but was getting paid loads of money. So, you know, whereas like I've two young lads, and we've had coronavirus twice this year. You know, one of them is still sick, and you know, I have all this life stuff, so you don't have time to meditate for 3 hours to, you know, battle astral beings who may or may not be there, who might just be manifestations of your own imagination. But back to the ego thing, the most interesting thing that I could find about the casting off the ego was that Buddhist guru who said that that the best way to get rid of your ego is to just put on the different hats of your personality when you need them. I thought that one really sang to me, because instead of trying to make yourself a blank page who doesn't have an ego, I don't really know if that's all that possible. Instead, you just say, right, in this situation, which spud is the best for this situation? You get me?
Yeah.
Because I know, like, that's something that people have to accept as they get older and stuff as well. Is that, like, okay, I am different people for different people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the spud that you know isn't the spud that my dad knows.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and not even that, like, friends from school and stuff like that. They're like, and I'm not the same person to them, but there's all parts that are the same. But then there's some bits, but just like, oh, I didn't know that about you. I didn't know that about you. For example, there's tons of stuff you don't know about me, you know, so.
What?
But
there's all these women I've chained up in the basement. I mean, I never talk about that, ever.
You never fucking asked me.
Never asked me about my hobbies, ever.
It's all me, and my fucking computers and my eyes. And, oh, look, Spud, I got a new guitar. Oh, yeah, I had a sandwich today. Yeah, nice one. Yeah. Had some jam, so I can afford. Yeah, it's great, man. Yeah, Nuno used to play it. Fucking Nuno. Yeah, all right. So, fine. Thanks, Tommy.
Oh, God.
No, I don't know. What do you think? Have you done that? Because it's kind of termed as shadow work, isn't it, in magic?
Well, it's also that, but it's also in chaos magic. It'd be called. It'd be part of the belief shifting thing, where you know you're aware of. Well, I suppose the belief shifting is more you consciously do that. You know, where you take on different ideas to approach the board because you're using belief as a tool. So
right,
rather than something that's forced on you. But that kind of, it'd be very much a case thing of being the person that you need to be in the moment to get what you want. You know, you got to be flexible and stuff like that. But there's a, what's his name? Gempo Roshi, I think is his name. He's part of the whole kind of Ken Wilber thing, but he had a huge sex scandal because that's what, you know, American Zen priests seem to do. And Asian Zen masters seems to be a lot of it. But anyway, he has this thing called Big Mind, he's his kind of approach to it is about trying to get enlightenment within like an hour workshop. There's a video that you can, it's on the torrents or you can buy it and all this kind of thing. It's interesting, and it's good. You do kind of, when you get to the end of it, you go, oh, that is interesting, and it does kind of switch your mind a bit. But whether there's any kind of long-term enlightenment, doubtful. But he would say that rather than trying to push away your ego, trying to get rid of it, is you engage with it, you bring it on board as part of the work, and rather than shun it, you welcome it and appreciate it and all that. And I think that's a better kind of approach because, you know, what you resist persists. You know, so like
yeah. There's that as well, because like if you think about, say, like, I don't know, just for example, like what are the 5 worst things about your personality or something? I could easily list them off, but like. If you try and deconstruct yourself and say, I'm never going to get angry with my children again, bollocks. You know, this is not going to happen because, you know, someday your young one is 16, she's high on fucking acid and brings home 2 fucking homeless people to have sex with. Do you know, like, it's going to happen. Do you know, like, she's hadn't like me or her mother anyway, you know. You know, and like, how are you not going to get angry with that? She's just going to be like, okay, well, look, just give me some acid and wear protection and you'll be fine. No, you're not. But get the fuckers out of my house. What the fuck, like, you know,
Oddly specific.
Nothing happened in the past that you need to know about. All right, nothing. You know me from 5-10 years ago, and that's it. That's where I begin with you.
So our timeline ends and begins. That's it.
What was the point? Was I going to say? Yeah. So I don't think you can deny those kind of primal elements of your personality or your ego that you have, because anger is just one of them. Anger is like hunger. It's just one.
Yeah.
What did I read yesterday? Someone said moods are places and thoughts are just ideas or something like that. No, it wasn't thoughts or ideas, but moods or places. I thought was a good way. What did he say? Ideas or maybe it was ideas or moods, and moods or places or something like that. But it was something that kind of clicked to me and saying, but it's the thing that you've spoken about loads of times before. Like, you're not your ideas. Your ideas is just a product of the kind of situation you're in.
Yeah.
Do you know? So like, and then of course there's the whole thing of like, some people are just like, nah, the whole idea of ego is nonsense. Like, you know.
And I suppose you can see that in the sense of that if you are a different person around different people or a different experience and all that, who's the real you? And we suppose one of the things we kind of have is this idea that a single, you know, solitary
a single one.
Spud. Yeah. And there's about 20 spuds at least, you know, and there's overlap and all. Not in a kind of schizophrenia way. Although it's someone was saying, or I read somewhere that what we think of schizophrenia is the wrong kind of thing of schizophrenia. It's not split personality or anything like that. Schizophrenia is different. So my apologies for using the wrong terminology. But that kind of what we in a kind of a bad societal way would deem schizophrenia. It's not that. It's not the kind of where, you know, your eye change colour or, you know, it's not split or glass, the M. Night Shyamalan, that thing. But there's definitely, I know, like, as you say, the Tommy that exists here is not the Tommy that exists if I was talking to my mum. Like, it's not a completely different person. There's definitely, of course, overlap and there's kind of things, but your approach is different, you know, your rules are different. You know, your kind of interaction, that I suppose the dominance hierarchy is, to use that kind of word, is kind of moved around a bit. And then you have the kind of stuff, if you go back to people who, like friends say from school, you slip into the kind of pendulum of that. So like, I mean, there's pendulums involved, these things, you know, the kind of energy, or pendulums for people don't know, from the reality transfer and stuff. But you fall into the energy and you can become an adherence to family, to school, to whatever it is. So who's the real you? It's the you who you are 10 minutes before you go to sleep at night, you know. Like, that's probably just another you, or, you know, you the person who... There is an interesting thing, and I'm sure you've come across it too, that when you're meditating and you get a glimpse of the eye behind the eye, you know, that kind of, and it's almost as if as soon as you see it, it's, stand away from you, don't be looking at that, you know, look over there at the, you know, the cat doing something, whatever it is. That you kind of, but I think if you could kind of cultivate that and see that a bit more, the knower, you know, has a number of names, classical, that kind of thing. But I have had glimpses of that, and it's kind of, it's shocking, but not in a negative kind of. It's kind of, that's weird. You know,
hello there, you brain.
Yeah.
No, they have. They mentioned, the lads mention it in their book, but also Mr. Chang mentioned it in his book, and I've read it in a couple of places as well, that it's all circular. It's not that you just go up the tree of life and like it's climbing a ladder. Like, you're different places during the day, and you're different in different places in your different reactions. So like, if you're hungry, that's Malkut, because that's the basis. We all have that, you know. The names escape me. I'm going to have to learn the names to explain it properly. But there's something like when we're having intellectual meditation or intellectual conversations, then you're like a couple of steps up. And but they both mentioned that, like, because it's kind of circular and it goes around or spherical, you do actually have these moments of upper, higher enlightenment or bliss, but they won't last as long as when you actually break through, or as you cross the abyss. Then they last when it becomes more of a plateau, rather. So I have had a couple of them, like, just like even that short story I wrote that I put out, that was genuine. Like, that happened to be one morning in bed, just I was flooded with all these ideas of just gratitude and love and thanks, and just it was amazing. Like, and I just
This is the one where you were kind of looking back at how
Yeah,
you ended
yeah.
up in the place you were in. That one, is it?
Yeah. So there was all the, I think I counted them up. There was 15, or no, it wasn't 15. It was 13 things that had to happen, which have very, very little chance of happening. All of them had to line up for me to even meet Aga. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Do you know? So stuff like that. But then the other night, it was a Friday or Saturday night, I had another one as well. I was just sitting there, and I had dark on, but I had stopped it for something. I was just,
that's the worst about subtitle stuff, is you can't look at your phone. You can't look up something on your phone and, or go make a cup of coffee or something. It's like, what am I missing? What's that fella saying? Although, out of all of them, because I did German at school, it's all the subtitle thing. There's more words I do recognise. But you think, oh yeah, I can speak German. Then you go up to make a coffee and go, oh no, I can't speak German at all.
Wo ist mein Kaffeespoon, ja? Was ist mein Kaffeespoon?
Alles klar. Oh yeah. I know 6 words in German. Great. You see, because the last time I watched was French, and I don't know any of them at all.
I have a clue. So I was sitting there, and it just kind of very similar kind of thing happened. I just kind of, it was like a download of this, like, a wave of niceness, you know? It didn't last long, but I just kind of sat there, and I didn't fight against it, or I didn't try to examine what it was, and I just went, everything is awesome. Everything is wonderful. I'm so happy and grateful to be here. This is amazing. Like, do you know, it's kind of, I suppose it's kind of, I don't know, it's like something becomes self-aware, like we've seen it in movies or something like that. Something just that's the only way it can. It's like a robot suddenly says, I'm alive.
That I've seen it in a kind of a Christian sense. It's called like being drunk on the grace of the Lord, and it's the same kind of experience where you're drunk on the, I suppose, the pleasantness of the world or the happiness, and you catch yourself and that kind of thing. But I mean, it's like, obviously, your brain's going, we better give this guy some serotonin here,
some extra dopamine here. Maybe it's because I haven't had a phone in ages, and so I've been cold turkey on dopamine hits, which is great. Like, fucking hell, I keep the phone on the opposite side of the room now from me since I got back. I'm not installed Facebook or Messenger. I only have WhatsApp, Discord, and I have Reddit as well, and I'll take Reddit off.
I deleted most of my apps as well, because I was trying to work out why my battery was draining within about 2 hours every time I charged it, until I went onto Reddit, and it turned out that it was the COVID app, the Irish one I sent to you. Some poor chap. Yeah, well, it's obviously a conspiracy that they won't ever going to take it off their phone now for some reason. But it was like, my battery was getting really hot as well, and I was going, that's something wrong. But like, people's phones were switching off from, getting safety warnings. We have to switch off. This is
COVID-19. But you're following the Trump and TikTok and Facebook and.
Well, I've been following it. Is that
so Trump had been putting out this stuff about how awful TikTok is, and he was going to shut it down.
Oh yeah, then something.
Then a couple of days
Microsoft
later,
to buy it.
Then Microsoft announced that they were in the middle of buying it. So Trump obviously knew this, and this pushed the share price down. So maybe his mates are getting rich on this.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, but obviously they're getting loaded on this. But as well, there's the conspiracy theory behind it that the American government and Trump and all want TikTok closed down because young people aren't joining Facebook, but they're joining TikTok. And Facebook is the CIA operative thing where everyone is tracked and algorithmized and stuff. But TikTok, they can't get that data.
Because it's Chinese until
so
Bill Gates vaccinates it and puts in in all the stuff. Yeah.
So it's such. I think that's a really plausible conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I'd like to be. I can see that. But like, if that's good business practice, as well.
It's not particularly.
Well, apart from the insider trading element by the world leader, less so probably moralistically good business practice. But
his young lads are going around wearing Facebook T-shirts for some reason. They've never worn them before. I don't know what's going on there.
Facebook is such a horrible thing. I've spent less and less time, but what I've noticed that because I don't have it on my phone and I don't have this, but when I put it on, I find it very hard to get out of it. You kind of end up in this loop in it or something. It's like there's an addictive quality of, you go, oh right, I've read all the posts, and then you go back and you start.
Yeah.
And you go, what am I doing? I've read the same post.
Like how many times have you had like a couple of browsers open? You'd close it on one, open another browser, and then you'd open Facebook. What the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm addicted to this shit. Like, it's horrible. There's a good video I watched the other day about explaining a thing called dopamine fasting.
There's a Reddit, subreddit of that. Yeah, just stay away from it though. It's more woo than you need, to be honest. But there's a
dopamine fasting, but it just means put down your phone. That's all.
Yeah, but they get carried away. There's a whole lot more to it. People, people take things to the extreme, obviously. But the levels of it and it's mad. I spent a bit of weekend. Reddit's
a dodgy place as well, because you get some like really nice subreddits, like say the Alexandria Library. That's great. There's one of the occult books is a good one. The sleep apnea one is great if anyone has sleep apnea. They're so fucking understanding and helpful in there. It's unbelievable. But then you get like so many bad ones that are just festering with fucking incel types and
But there's not a great thing. There was a point made about the whole Reddit. There's a Reddit personality and there's a Reddit style, and you find yourself doing it when you respond to people on Reddit, that you type in a certain or you talk in a certain way. That's very, like, when it's pointed out, you go, oh, that's very true. And I do that, and I do recognise. Where it's like if you're on a Reddit, it's like you read a reply and as if you know the person, that you know that it's all very familiar. Everyone writes in the same type of way. This kind of group think. So like you could see a reply on Facebook, you go, oh, that sounds like a Reddit reply, and you go, oh well, that's because and there's no emojis. You're not allowed them. There's no. No print speak. You can't use 4s for 4, or you can't use L8 or any of these things. None of that's allowed. But it's not like it's just kind of known, or it just happens. It's onto these kind of weird rules. But when you see it, it's interesting that you kind of go, oh, right, so there's a huge group think going on here. That's,
it's funny. I'd never noticed that. That's interesting, yeah. It's very interesting how people act differently on different websites, all right.
Yeah, on Facebook, it's just, fuck you, everyone. 5G, Bill Gates. White people. Twitter, I have no idea what's going on Twitter anymore.
No, me either. Like every now and again, I'll go on and just kind of like throw in a hand grenade kind of thing and then get off it. But I'm not saying nothing controversial. I just go in, put down a couple of tweets.
I mean, just a harmless thing like, how are you, can just start the biggest argument. How dare you ask me how I am?
Yeah, you see, that's the thing with me on Twitter, is that I'm not interested in conversing with people on Twitter. I'm only interested in using it as an echo chamber where I say something.
Yeah, and it's like, at least why I'm still on Facebook is that it's great community-wise and for getting things out there. Twitter, no one cares at all. It used to be the place for, if you're doing a webcomic or a book, right, that you definitely have to be on Twitter, because that's where you put up and no one cares at all. Because they've ruined it with all the bots and all the type of thing. So we talk about our diet that we're starting today, Spud.
Oh jeez, I forgot to weigh myself.
I went to weigh myself this morning and I went, I really don't want to do this. This is going to soul destroy me. This is going to make me feel bad. And I went in and I got it and I went, oh, right, here we go. And then I turned around and it turned out that there was no battery in it. I went, yes, that's definitely a sign from the universe. Thank you, HGA. I'm not ready for this. I've got into this too fast. So I decided I'm taking that as a sign not to. Because, I mean, I'll know if I've lost weight anyway because, clothes and stuff like that.
Clothes will fit. Yeah. The last time I checked, I was 87. I don't think I've put on much more, if any. So I'm going to go with 87.
The lightest I've ever been in my life is 83. So that'll tell you the kind of difference between our body shapes.
The largest?
The lightest.
The lightest?
Yeah. That's 83 is 13 stone, right?
I better look this up there. What's kg to stone? And are Irish stones different than... I said UK first. Damn fucking tans.
No, I think the only difference is just Americans just don't use stones, so they just do it in pounds. It's not that, whereas we have 14 pounds as a stone. So
if I'm 87, then I'm 13.7 stone.
Yeah, I think 83 is 13, so...
They do what? Pounds, is it?
Yeah, just strict pounds.
Ton, kilogram, gram, milligram. What about milligrams? Holy shit. 8.7 E to the plus 7. I don't know what that means. Micrograms, never heard of them. Imperial tons. I am 0.085 of an imperial ton. What the fuck is an imperial ton? Oh yeah, a ton weight, obviously. A US ton is... Why is a US ton different than a proper ton?
And it's spelled differently too. There's TON and TONNE, isn't it?
Not here.
One of them is metric. And one
pounds
is
here now.
imperial.
Look, I was looking for the LBS, not POUND. Spastic.
Libs.
87 kilos is 191 pounds. What are you, roughly?
Me, I'd say I'm 16 stone, I would say. At least.
I have to change this back to stone now, don't I? That's just ridiculous, isn't it, the way things are going? You're 16 stone, right? So that's 101. And then in pounds...
220, 225, something
yeah,
like that.
224.
Yeah. So,
right.
yeah, so definitely about £50 too heavy, I would say, for me, at least.
So we're both going to try and lose a stone, aren't we? So
yeah, so the thing was, I was watching the documentary, it is a documentary on Channel 4. Channel 4 have a brilliant app, if you don't have it, by the way, the 4OD. It's really, really good. Because everything's free on it and it works well and all that kind of stuff. But it's on it. Probably might work for American stuff, but... and it's basically, you knew the guy, Mosley, is that what his name is?
What's his first name? Is it Max Mosley? Dr. Max Mosley, isn't it?
Yeah, but he was a guy who was a huge, big dude, and he got diabetes, and he looked into it, and he lost all the weight, and cured himself of diabetes. But he came up with you were telling me, the 5-2 plan, or popularised the 5-2
Yeah,
plan.
I don't think he would claim he invented it, but he came across it and did a program about it and did it. And I think that's the thing that cured him of the diabetes, because he went from eating normally to eating, I think it's 300 calories on your 2 days, and then on your normal 5 days, then you just eat normally. It doesn't mean you pig out, but you just eat normally, So it's a reduced.
Well, no, it means I pigger. I eat 20 calories. That's why it doesn't look.
Yeah.
Like you do the 300 calories, fine, but it's the 8 million calories I do on the Tuesday that's the problem.
So come here. So 1 stone is 14 pound, right?
Yeah.
That's what we want to lose, and 1 stone is 6 kilos. I can do 6 kilos.
Yeah. So it's like the new program is 21 days to lose a stone, and it's basically it's not. He's not doing it as intermittent fasting. It's just 800 calories a day, but it's keto, so it's low carb. But I'm going to do it as 1 meal a day because I can't imagine if I had 3, 200 calorie meals that it would in any way satisfy me. And I'm used to the 1 meal a day thing anyway, because I've been doing it since the beginning of the year. And 800 calories is a substantial enough kind of meal. Excuse me. You're not doing the OMAD thing though, or are you?
The what thing?
Meal,
what
1
you're
meal
doing?
a day. Yeah.
No, I can do that. I do that twice a week anyway.
Yeah.
I do that. I eat dinner on say a Tuesday, and then I won't eat again until dinner on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
Yeah, it's funny when you start fasting and you do your first 24-hour fast, and it's like I was getting like apps and counting down and all that. And then when you do the OMAD thing, it's basically you essentially do a 23-hour fast every day, or 24 depending on your thing. And it's just going, you just get used to it. Like so that I can only imagine. But I'm looking forward to, apart from the weight loss thing, which is obviously I've talked about it so much in the blog and vlogs and all that it's an issue with me. But I'm looking forward to the energy and the sleeping better and the mental clarity that this ketosis thing is meant to
Fucking walking, man. Imagine how nice walking is going to be when you're a stone lighter on your knees. Or 2 stone lighter. Like we went up a mountain there last week, and fuck, it was tough going in places, because and I guess this is fine. It's like, yeah, because you're fucking 50 kilos, man. What the fuck? Yeah. I'm 1.5 of you on my knees. You know what I mean? Like fucking hell. Up a fucking mountain, top to bottom. And so that's what I'm looking forward to, because and like maybe like finally fitting into some fucking t-shirts where I don't have a big beer belly the whole time. Beer is the killer for me, and bread.
Bread's my
and Polish bread is so fucking good, man. It's like the French have the reputation as the best bread, but I'd fucking fight for Poland to the death on that. Right. I am Team Poland on that for sure. It's just amazing. There's bakeries on fucking every second corner. There's so many nice breads and pastries and donuts and it's just amazing. That's going to be a killer because
you said you're going to drink at the weekend too. It's that.
Well, I have to.
Oh, because I have to.
Listen. Listen. Do you know what limoncello is?
I do. Yeah.
I made limoncello.
Right.
Oh my God, Tommy.
Limoncello sounds like a Dick Tracy villain.
Which?
A Dick Tracy villain.
No, limoncello is the yellowy lemon drink you get in some Italian restaurants after you have dinner.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's not very strong, but it's very sour and lemony. And so I made some. And it's just like I'm so fucking talented, Tommy. I'm just amazing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna blow my own horn here, and I rarely do. But like, it's fucking lovely. And I have more brewing. I have a raspberry one brewing. I have a peach one brewing, and I have I have two other brewing. There's some mad tree out the back. I haven't a fucking clue what the name of the fruit is. We don't have it in English. They're like tiny little sour peachy apple type things.
All right.
And then there's another one as well. And I have some cherries. I have tons of my own alcohol brewing, so I can't not drink. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know? But you know,
3 weeks.
No. I can't, there's no way I can go 3 weeks without a drink. I can
Well,
go
see,
3 weeks.
that's
I
the
can
thing,
go
though.
without a beer. I can go 3 weeks
Yeah.
without a beer. That's the problem. Drink is fine. Beer makes me fat. Not drink.
And it's the thing, you have to be realistic about it. I can do 3 weeks without drinking. I could, yeah. Anyway, I need to, anyway, because I've been drinking a lot recently, as most people have, I suppose, in this year. But yeah, no, it's the ketosis thing. I've done all of the things kind of separately. I've done the OMAD, obviously. I've done the counting calories thing, and I tried the ketosis thing a few years ago, and I actually put on weight with it, but I wasn't counting calories, so I was probably overall eating too much, you know. So it'll be interesting to see how the triple whammy of it is. But I've also decided that for the 3 weeks, I'm going to try and get back, and not try, I am going to do, I'm going to meditate every day, I'm going to walk every day, I'm going to do a few other things, you know, just to kind of, because there was a thing back when Alan Chapman was doing his Wiser by Design thing, and it's obviously not his idea, but he had this thing of vows. So you take a vow where you would do, you know, a certain amount of meditation a week, a certain amount of dialectics and stuff. There was all that. So I was kind of seeing this 3 weeks as a vow that I will do the meditation, I'll do the follow, you know, the diet, all of these type of things, and then offer it in some way to something, or you know, to add a magical aspect to it, so that there's some greater story arc, you know, rather than just let's not eat for 3 weeks.
I'm sorry,
so
St. Teresa, for letting you down and being a total failure at everything I ever do.
So it's my vow, it's my 3 week vow. Obviously you can't, well, some people do, I suppose, do 800 calories for the rest of their lives, but there's that being like you, realistic with the drink thing, there's no way I can do 800 calories every day I just won't, so there's no point in saying you know.
Yeah.
I can do restrictive stuff like that for 6 months, and I can kind of, I've done that a number of times, and then by month 8 I've, you know, put a lot of weight back on again, just because, you know, party. I don't.
It's impossible as well to do any of these types of things in the winter, because you don't get as nice as fresh food and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So
And vitamin D.
What you don't eat meat, do you?
No.
No, I only eat it twice a week now, so I think it'll be okay with that. But like having no carbs, no pasta, would be a bit strange, you know.
Yeah, you can still have eggs, cheeses,
no pasta, no bread.
lots of oils and stuff. Just gonna have to eat lots of salads. That's kind of. We can eat tofu and that corn stuff, even though it's
tofu. Man, there's a box of tofu down in the fridge. We've had it for about 3 weeks now, and both of us are fucking scared to fucking try it, because I've never eaten it.
Oh,
I've never eaten it, and I
tofu
like,
doesn't taste of anything.
Yeah, I guess like no,
to
you just marinate it and da. But it's just like every day time you open the fridge, you're just looking for something else, because you're like, no, I don't like to look at that. That just looks fucking weird.
Fry it. It's lovely.
Because it comes in a box like halloumi, but I know it's not going to be anything like halloumi.
No, it definitely doesn't taste like that at all. No. Oh, if only it did. Oh, halloumi, so nice. Fried halloumi and peppers.
Yum.
Yeah, I get a smoked one, which I like. Smoked tofu is really, really nice. The firmer one is better, because you can get the soft one and it just kind of falls. The silky one just kind of falls apart. But fry it and put it in a salad if you like salad. Or
salad.
You can do scrambles tofu. Don't do that. It's disgusting.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Yeah. No, it would be fine, because I have like some salady stuff growing. Not as much anymore, but I planted some more, so I should get some as well. So yeah, be grand, like be alright. 3 weeks. I need to lose weight. Really need to lose weight, you know. Yeah,
I can overall feel my kind of, for the first time ever, I suppose, that I am in need of a good kind of, in a sense, clearing out or kind of reset, because my health isn't great. Like, even apart from, don't talk about the wall of my eyes and all that, but it's like I feel I'm drained, and I'm kind of feeling that if I don't do stuff now, I'm very quickly going to turn into the very typical middle-aged man.
I wonder, is there any
and all
type
that
of
kind
diet where like you can give yourself food poisoning and just shit for a week and then lose weight that
Yeah,
way?
I'm sure. But people do that. People eat worms, and God knows what half of these LA Hollywood type people are doing to, some of the stuff you hear is just. Remember food tasting, where they weren't eating, where they would taste the food and then spit it out. That was a big one.
Why was just
Yeah, that's in an episode of Sex in the City, or Sex and the City. What's
Sex in the City?
In the City, yeah. That's
in the
Mandela
City.
one.
Of course.
It's and the City, isn't it? Which is the real one?
In the City.
It's not. Mandela effect. It's and the City. Sex and the City.
Sex in the City.
No.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Right.
Oh, fuck off! It's Sex and the City.
It is, yeah. Sex and the City, yeah. That's another Mandela effect.
Yeah. I had a girlfriend addicted to that, and I reckon I've watched every single episode.
I've seen it all and the movies because
Awful.
I'm married and stuff. The
terrible.
movies, the second movie's the most
such bad
xenophobic
people,
film
though,
I've ever
Tommy.
seen. Bad,
Aren't
terrible
they?
people.
They're awful people. All of them, the men as well, not just the women.
Yeah.
Everyone in that show is just bad at being a human. Oh,
Yes, shown as role models to the world, whatever. Well, so I suppose you could say the same about things like Sopranos and stuff like that. They're all horrible, or Casino, or Goodfellas, they're all horrible people.
yeah, but they're not shown as good. Sex and the City is that these are good people. Be like these people. No, don't be like them. Don't be like Tony Soprano either. It's just, I don't know. It's just weird. Tommy, we're an hour into this now.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to end up talking about the thing. We were going to talk about Finding Joe, which is the Joseph Campbell documentary. But I think we could probably do a better show about Joseph Campbell, because that documentary doesn't really tell you anything about Joseph Campbell at all.
I got the other one, so we can watch the two of them maybe, and we'll do it next week. I liked it though, because the post-rock, it was just full of post-rock. There's only one scene that is like a ravey dance music thing, and that's like a Coca-Cola orgy scene. It's very bizarre. And no, it's just full of like God is an astronaut and Mogwai type music the whole way through. So I'm sitting there going, this is amazing. I love this. But fair enough.
I did watch it. I watched it when it came out, and I enjoyed it. And then watching it again over the weekend or whatever, less so. And it was interesting because my opinions about things have changed since I seen it first, where I kind of was more aligned to it than I am now. And I don't think it's some less aligned to Joseph Campbell stuff. It's just less aligned to that kind of, if you do enough work, you will get everything you want, which I don't agree with. I don't think it's true. And even Joseph Campbell changed his mind about the whole follow your bliss thing. He changed it at the end of his thing. He's kind of regretted it. I think Russell Brand talks about this, so I'm going by what Russell Brand said about Joseph Campbell. He says he changed it to follow your blisters rather than follow your bliss, that he felt that it was kind of misleading
really?
people a bit. That. Yeah, so he talks about
but that's because
in the Russell Brand Jordan Peterson interview. That's exactly where I heard that. Yeah, where he changed it.
I think people get it wrong, because I think people, you say to someone follow your bliss and people get all hedonistic about it, like, I'm gonna have fucking orgies with prostitutes every fucking day of my life and do cocaine. Yeah. Woohoo! No, Russell. Russell. Stop it. All right. No. We'll wait until next week to talk about it.
Yeah, just because there's a correlation between, which I think is a good conversation to have, between follow your bliss and true will. Because I think it's the bits that we get wrong about it are the same bits about both things, because it's very similar. It's very similar.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, we'll come back to it then next week. So yeah, Sex and the City is awful.
Yeah, there's plenty of. The second movie is one of the worst. No, it's the worst film I've ever seen in my life. Just from a tremendously racist, xenophobic, presented as, let's laugh at the black people or the dark people. That's essentially what that film is. Like, you go to Abu Dhabi or whatever it is, and just look at how weird they are over here. It's like, oh my God, how are you allowed to do this?
Yeah, it's mad that they do that. Wasn't Mr. Bean did a third movie, didn't he?
I don't know. I can't. I never.
No,
got Mr.
sorry.
Bean.
No,
I love Rowan Atkinson, but I can't get Bean.
Or was it Johnny English? He did one of the roles because it's so popular in the Arab nations that, like, Qatar basically just went, look, here's a couple of $100 million, just make the film. And he went, oh yeah, I have no morals. I don't need morals. Fuck that, because he'd always said I'm never going to do it. It was either Johnny English, maybe it's the third Mr. Bean film. I don't know. I haven't seen it anyway, whichever one. And I've never seen a Johnny English film.
No, of course not. Why would you? Why would anyone?
No comment. It's like Reebok. Remember Reebok started putting the Union Jack on their shoes, and that just no one in Ireland ever bought any of their products ever again. You know,
no, yeah, fans did something fairly similar as well.
But then it's just like, you know, Ireland's a very fucking small market. It's weird. Ireland's a strange country because it's a small market in terms of people, but like Ireland has like a ton of products that Poland doesn't have, or say Germany doesn't have. It's kind of it's funny that some American companies see it as a kind of, not like a 52nd state or anything like that, but a kind of somewhere America can market into, because I suppose they're used to states with sparse or sparsely populated places, I suppose. Whereas Europe is like, fuck that. Not enough people over there to make money.
yeah.
You know,
it's an odd one, I suppose, and it's an interesting country in that we have our own obviously culture, but we very much have absorbed British, UK culture and American culture. You know, in a way I don't think possibly other places have, that we have that kind of intense kind of amalgamation of other people. Whereas like Irish people's, a lot of favourite football teams are from the UK. So a lot of their favourite TV shows are like, you know, people watch some Coronation Street, but like we, you know, still absorb all the American programs, which I think it's an interesting for an Irish person, that they're more able to understand accents better, you know, or than I'd say other countries, because we've been exposed to them way more than the other ones.
Yeah, I think other countries, like, they absorb. What the fuck am I saying? Absorb some American stuff, not as much as what we have. Like, say for example, like in Poland, hip hop is fucking huge. Like, probably well, maybe not anymore, but when I moved over here, it was definitely the biggest music genre for people that would have been in their 20s and 30s, you know. Maybe it still is. I don't follow Polish hip-hop anymore, to be honest. I don't know. But then, like, if you look at a smaller country, Lithuania, not too far from here, their national sport is basketball, which is bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. And they're really fucking good at it, you know. But it's totally bizarre. And then you have other countries where, like, well, actually, ice hockey. Ice hockey is massive in Czech Republic. But they can't, you know, most countries that have a sea, they will play ice hockey on the sea when it freezes over. Czech Republic doesn't have a sea. You know, lots of pools and lakes, but there's no sea. It's landlocked. It's, you know, it's across the fucking river for me. So, but then again, that's not an American sport, is it? I think it's invented in Canada.
Yeah, it's definitely,
or maybe Norway,
more synonymous with Canada, I think. Same as the Japanese and the baseball. They're huge into baseball. Like,
that's bizarre. It's such a shite sport. Like, it's so boring. But
someone
explained to me baseball. It's like, look, no one actually likes baseball.
It's a drinking session or something.
You get to go because it's 4 hours away from the wife and kids, and you just get fucked up. I can identify with that.
Rounders. Our national sport, handball. That's so weird, because like, I played it at school, but like, you know, you don't see it in tell. Yeah. That's whatever.
Okay. It's big where I'm from. It's big where I'm from, actually.
Is it? Well, it was big in our school because we had handball alleys. You know,
handball alleys. So it's basically, if you don't know what it is, it's squash without the rackets. You just use your hand, and it's sore.
But it's really fast, and it's good. We always used to play the half court because, you know, we were terrible at it. You know, you'd play off the side wall rather than the big wall.
Cheating.
Oh, we weren't because you just couldn't. You need to be really fit and you need to be really skilled. And if you're just there for 10 minutes and you break, you don't want to, you know, limber up, stretch again.
Here, back to your man Mosley. He has, if anyone's interested in him, this is it. As far as I know, this is the first he's done since he jumped ship to Channel 4. Most of his documentaries, well, all of the ones that I've seen, were all BBC, so they were actually all the full hour rather than the 45 minutes. But they're very, very good. The 521, he does another about caffeine. He does another about...
the one about children or kids or babies or something, because I think I've seen that one.
There could be. And there's another one about what's the brain one? Parkinson's.
Right.
Where I think the conclusion is that, or they're getting people to play like games on their apps on their phones, games that help with cognitive stuff. So it's just kind of the thing with Parkinson's that they're kind of finding is that, like, if your mind is not active, you're going to end up getting Parkinson's. So it's like if you do like a crossword every day, it's very good for you. So no, crosswords are a pain in the arse. I was never very good at crosswords, but stuff like that. So if
but it's also new learning is very important though. So
new learning. So
new learning. It's not just like studying the same subject as new subjects.
Yeah. And sitting like people who sit down and watch Coronation Street followed by Emmerdale followed by EastEnders, like you're in trouble. Like you're in big trouble.
Particularly if you're overweight, because that's another big factor.
Yeah. So no, he's good. I really like him. I read the 5-2 one, and I had a couple of 5-2 cookbooks as well. And then I just kind of learned like 5, and I was like, well, sure, that's all I need, like, because it's 5 and 2. So I have 5 good ones, and then the other, and then 2 I don't eat. So yeah, grand. I'm okay. I don't need a full cookbook. 5 is okay. Fuck's sake, idiots. Just
give me a cookbook on the days I can eat whatever I want. Just, the McDonald's cookbook. Is that what it is? Yeah, fine. Let's have that. Eat what you want.
Yeah. I wonder would we ever get to the stage of those places doing these 5-2 things. 5-2 diet sponsored by McDonald's.
You will if they could make enough money out of it, of course.
I don't know. McDonald's doesn't have as bad a name here as in Ireland.
Does it not? And it probably doesn't in the States either, does it? It's probably just seen as
no idea, man. No idea. It doesn't have as bad a name at all, and it's kind of some. And it's a weird thing here as well. Is that like you can eat in a pub or a restaurant, and it's only about 5 or 10 zlotys more. So like, why would you bother going to McDonald's? But like some people, it's not like in Ireland. It's just like, right, I'm skint. I need to eat. I'll go get 2 burgers at McDonald's for €2. While over here, it's like you could easily spend, €30 shekels on your dinner. But like you could go to the pub, 2 doors down and pay 35 for like something far more substantial and better for you. It's very strange. I don't understand why it's so expensive here.
And again, comparatively, is there other fast foods that's cheaper, or is that just the price of fast food over there?
There's no Burger King were here and they failed. There's a couple of the donutty places now. They're not here, but like where I live is so provincial.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, they're opening a car wash. Ooh. I'm only half joking. No, it is. It's just a very small town, sleepy town, and not much happens in. So, which is great. I love it. But it's the type of place people move out of. Rather than move.
It's a bit like Ireland, isn't it? It's the type of place.
Just like Ireland, where people leave and don't stay unless they're Eastern European, Central European. Hey, come here, your fucking meat industry's fucked, innit? You don't eat meat. You don't give a fuck.
No, we've closed down 3 counties, have we? I think.
Kildare, Laois, and one of those places that exist on the map. No one's ever really been to. They only pass through it. Fuck is Laois? I don't know fucking idea. Kildare, Kildare is part of Dublin. I mean, there's not real.
It's not really. It's like Meath and Westmeath. That's the same, isn't it?
It's like when Hitler annexed Austria. You know what I mean? It's not a country anymore. It's part of it.
It's part of the pale. It's not even part of the pale.
Do you know the cheek of the Austrians? The Austrians have this thing. Oh, we were the first to be invaded. Get the fuck out of here. You weren't the first to be invaded. You were the first to fucking bend over. That's what you were. God almighty. They're fucking cheeky is. Yes, but I've been looking up the meat industry. Horrible in Ireland. Do you know about this Larry Goodman fella?
Yeah, sure. His office is here. He flies over my house in a helicopter every day, twice a day.
I'd be out there throwing fucking stones at him.
His main like thing is just like, I'll point for people who are listening in audio. Just over there, literally like 500 feet from my house.
He's horrible, isn't he? He's how to explain it to people who don't know him? He's he basically owns all of the abattoirs in Ireland and meat processing plants. And he, back in the day, in the early 90s, he was in a bit of bother. But he's so crooked and had so many politicians in his pocket that he got some special laws passed in the government that meant he wouldn't go under. And then they set up a tribunal about this, and no one was found guilty of any wrongdoing whatsoever, even though there was tons and tons of crooked people involved. Totally got away with it. And then, since then, what he's been doing is he won't hire any Irish people. He'll give work permits to Brazilians in particular, get them over, put 20 Brazilian lads living in a house that's only fit for about a family of 4, and then put them working at barely above minimum wage so they can live in Ireland and send back pittance to their family in Brazil, and then And then all these lads that are living together have all got fucking coronavirus, COVID-19, and they're shutting down the places. And Larry Goodman in 2019 made the most money in his career ever. Horrible, man.
Yeah. But like, didn't
that's capitalism, baby.
Well, I mean, didn't Facebook and Amazon make the most money they've ever made in the last 6 months too, or something like? Jeff Bezos made 14 billion in 4 hours or something one day.
Like, why are we allowing this to happen? Why can't we just say, look, you're allowed 1 billion or even 10 billion? You're allowed 10 billion. Everything after that then is just redistributed.
Well, at some point it changed because I was listening to a Beatles autobiography, as is my wont of an evening recently. It was about their end days, the last days, and about how they fell apart financially as well as all the
cheerful,
other stuff. Yeah. But you know when because you know so much about, well, I know so much, and I'm sure you do, about the Beatles. When you find a new angle of a biography, you go, oh, well, I'll have a listen to that. But it was interesting because it was all about the management stuff, and while they were recording Let It Be and Abbey Road. Anyway, but they were paying 90% tax in the 60s and all things. So that obviously changed. And I remember Jim Rohn talking about it, who was the kind of forerunner of Tony Robbins. He talks about it back when he started, there was 90% tax. So obviously it's a new enough thing where we go, oh, you have the most money in the world. Oh yeah, well, you don't have to pay anything. It used to be, oh, you have all the money in the world, right? You give us all your money. Yeah. Like, to the point, like 90% tax means that if you earned 100 grand, you are earning less than people who earn 20 grand, which is so bizarre. So I can understand. But the thing, who is it?
Yeah, but it's not 90 on everything, though. It's 90 on.
No, it's whatever. It's 20, 40, and 90. That thing.
Yeah.
But it's a better point when you say 90%.
Of course,
blanket thing. But I mean, doesn't it have to work out then that if you earn, like, is there a point between the two tax brackets that we have that someone who's earning less is earning more because of tax? There has to be. There's no some sort of middle thing before you go into the 40%.
Yeah, but if you have a decent accountant, then he makes sure that your costs don't bring you over.
Right, like Jimmy Carr's accountant.
Oh yeah, exactly like Jimmy Carr's accountant. No, but but even our lad, he tells us what can be put into expenses and what this is and all that. And he's great. Like he's done it a couple of times. He'll give her a phone call or an email and say, "Yeah, I got you some money back because you paid too much or something." Oh, great. Didn't even know you were looking into it.
Yeah. Awesome.
So that's what accountants are supposed to be doing,
Yeah, I've a good accountant as well. When I started off, I had an accountant who was really good if she worked for the tax office. Not for me. You work for me.
That's not good.
No, it's not. I mean, that's not good. I bet you, she brought an apple for the teacher every day. I'd say that's what it was. That type of. Yeah. No, don't. I'm paying you. Be on my side. I'm not saying do swindle or anything, but there is, as you say, there's things you can, that are, if you don't know. Because I remember I had worked out 1 year, whatever, it was going to be a disaster because an accountant had let me down, whatever, and it goes, oh, well, I'll have to do this myself. And I worked out whatever it was, and then I did manage to get an accountant, and it was like, there was 800 quid in the difference of what I was going to have to pay. And I was going, right, they're totally worth their money, even in that kind of thing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's mad though. What was I watching recently? We were saying that these Facebook and Amazon and all that, these are we have to look at them as not just what's the word for those big companies? Not corporations, multinationals. They're not multinationals anymore. These are
no, because they're all in Ireland.
Dodging tax. Yeah. Oh no, you're not allowed to call us tax dodgers now. No, we have the tax there. Look, corporation tax. Oh Jesus, no, we're not. These are fucking tax dodgers, lads. That's what you are. Yeah. They were saying we have to start looking at these as countries. That's how powerful they are.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. There's a little bit of the dystopian fucking cynic in me who's fucking Bezos could have an army. He could easily an army if he wanted.
Or probably does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe he does have a secret army or something. He's fucking he's arming up so that the fucking people who brought down Ghislaine and Epstein don't come after him. Trump, man. Trump has to have his fucking hands dirty from that. There's plenty of photos of him with
but didn't he say that he wished her well?
Wishing Ghislaine well. Yeah. What a fuck with,
I'm pretty convinced Trump's going to win the election. I totally have my dystopian apocalypse hat on. I think we're all in a lot of trouble when that happens. Imagine what Trump is doing and then gets validated for it. Like, that's scary.
Yeah, it is scary. I wish there was something where it's like, I wish countries would bring in something where it's like, okay, if 60% of, we need, no, you know what, if they just made like in Australia where like you have to vote.
Yeah,
Simple as that. You have to show up, you have to vote. If you don't, you get a $500 fine or $250 fine. A hefty enough fine, like. So,
But they also give you the day off. In America, they don't have the day off to vote, as far as I know.
Don't in Ireland do as well, do they? It's usually on a Thursday in Ireland, isn't it?
Or yeah, but they open till 9. So come on, man.
Yeah, it's open until 9 in the evening.
Yeah, but like I suppose, I don't know. It's like if everyone was to vote though, like would it make any difference? I don't. Like, I mean, it's kind of it's a symptom of the, I suppose, the times we are in or whatever. But he is worried about mail-in votes, so obviously it does make a difference. So. Imagine you could just vote on your computer or on your tablet or something like that. And just go, no, no to that.
Well, why can't you? I mean, we all have our passport ID in Ireland and UK are really reluctant to have the national ID, and I don't really understand why. Every fucking European country has it, and it's totally fine.
Spud, 5G, Bill Gates.
Whatever. But like, you just like why can't you just go to a website, put in the number that's yours, like your tax number or your PP or whatever the fuck it is, put in that number and vote, and that's it.
Yeah. We kind of do have the national thing, because I have a national ID card now. The social welfare did it a couple of years ago, but it's not classified as the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's the thing you use for everything. You know.
I don't have one here, and we're not part of Schengen. I'm supposed to bring my passport with me everywhere, which I don't.
Yeah.
Do you know? I got the idea. I went in and I've been stopped by the cops twice, and I didn't have anything on me. I had a driver's license, so that was grand. But it's not enough because it doesn't have your address on it. You need
right.
Poland, you have to have something with your address on it. You know.
You're illegally living in Poland, or legally? Legally, I suppose, is it?
I know I'm legal. Yeah. No, but they have a funny thing here. It's what do they call it? It's a temporary residence, but it's renewed every 5 years or 7 years or something like that. And which I have deeds in a house now anyway, so like,
right, yeah.
I have rights and
kids.
stuff like that. But I can't vote until you become a Polish citizen. You can't vote, which isn't going to be, unless Ireland does something ridiculous like an Irish Rexit, whatever the fuck they call it. There's no need for me to ever get it, really, you know.
Can you not have dual citizenship now?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. But I don't need it. I'm in the EU.
You get to vote, though. You know, local politicians.
Yeah, but look, I mean, there's not really much point in me voting, because if I vote, I just vote for the biggest loser on the card anyway. Do you know? Did you ever do one of those tests? Who would you vote for? I've done that. I've done it twice for Poland, and it keeps coming up. I done it twice in a row, and on 2 different days to make sure it was right. I got the farmers' party. So I was like, hey, which are muck. You know, but at least, they're a strange party. They're very green in their outlook, obviously, because they're farmers, but they're quite conservative with the abortion stuff. And the gays and stuff, you know. Yeah. But they're trying to change that because they have a new leader who's a young lad. So I don't know. It's a weird country, Poland. It's very weird. It's kind of like,
it's a weird planet.
It's a weird planet. It's just like they just vote for the opposite of what's actually happening. You know, like Poland has become so much more liberal than when I moved here 10 years ago. But when it comes to voting, it's like, yeah, no, we're getting too liberal. Let's fuck this up.
Things are going a bit too well.
Yeah. Things are going too well. We're not used to it. We don't like it. We need a bit of pain and suffering. The old Catholic mentality, man. That's what it is. You know, Ireland had it for years.
Yeah, it still has it. I mean, I don't think that's going away anytime soon.
No, probably not. Come here. Any more on the protector stuff you need to tell me? Because I think we can.
No, it's just kind of like my concern, which was true. It was that because it's come in a sense not too easy to you, but become very quick, and you find that you might think that just the next step is equally to be taken. Yeah. Sure, just this is what I do, you know, and maybe not to have a bit more reverence for it. That's kind of it. It's not necessarily protection in that something bad's going to happen or that, you know, they're coming to get you, and it's just kind of taking it a bit more seriously. Again, with the thing that I didn't think you weren't taking it seriously.
Grand. I am taking it seriously, but I think I need to learn a bit more about it before I go after the next bit, you know. Which is a bit of a pain. But I think I just got there quickly. Well, I think quickly because
I know it is quickly, but it means you must have done the work at some point.
Yeah, but I've done other stuff before. I think I went to a shrink years ago. I think going to that helped just so fucking much, because I know that when like bad behaviours are coming in or old reactions are coming in, I'm just like, no, don't be doing that. Do you know? So I think like I guess, if it was me from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, like maybe just get the fuck out of here. This is all nonsense. You know, now I'm just like every single sentence I read now is like, yeah, that's true. That's obviously true. Yeah, of course.
That's obviously true. Yeah. I'm surrounded by angels. Obviously. Did you get Damien Ackles' book? No, you were talking.
The dinosaurs. I did, yeah. But it's not coming. I think they ran out of them in print or something. So
I'll probably get.
They're coming out the next print run. They're coming out. Your man that I was telling you about last week, was it Foolish Fish? Was that his YouTube name? Did I send it to you? No,
don't think so.
He does these videos called Esoteric Saturdays, and it's a book review. It's like your man, your friend David. What's his name? He reviews sorry.
David Halpin.
Halpin, yeah. So he reviews an occult book. But he never shows his face. Funny, it's a camera on his hand and the book. So it's like Ting from the fucking Addams Family, you know. Was it Ting? Or Uncle Fester? Who was the hand? Ting was the hand, wasn't it?
Has to be, yeah. Uncle Fester.
Yeah, Fester was the hairy one. Yeah. So it's like the Addams Family hand is reviewing occult books. That's what he should have made. He should have called it the Ting reviews occult books. You know, that would have been hilarious. He never shows us. He shows his house, his office, his library, all his books, but it's just a hand.
Yeah, I've seen I've followed a few people over the years who've never showed a face, but will show different things, like will show essentially everything about their lives other than what they look like.
I recognise your fucking voice, man. I'm going to know it's you. There's no point in hiding, you know?
Well, I don't know. I suppose I can understand it. I have to, you know.
Yeah, I suppose, especially when it comes to occulty stuff. I get it, alright.
Because you can kind of go, oh, that does sound a bit like me, for granted. But if it's your face, you can't go, yeah, that's not me.
Yeah, that's not me. That's my doppelganger. You know, it's Julika from Poland. He talks about the book. He says it's really good. He loved it, but he flashed the page of the content, and there's nothing about a HGA in it. It's just about the different angels of the different parts, and
he probably talks about the HGA and high magic, maybe.
Maybe so. I have an Audible credit, but I don't really want to use it on something like that, because I think a book like that, it's good to underline stuff and go back.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's kind of, I did listen to it, and I think did I listen to it or did I read it? Same with Kindle stuff. It's not a Kindle book either, because it's no good, you know. It's kind of a referencing. Yeah, I think anything that's also graph heavy or has tables or any of that, nothing worse than an audiobook where it's just someone's reading pages of tables. You go, just skip it, send me the PDF.
Your man has it. John Ronson in the You've Been Publicly Shamed has it.
Has he?
And it's obviously done as like an afterthought edit, because he's like, he has. It just sounds different, you know.
Right,
it sounds like the production on it is just a little bit
he did it on his phone.
Maybe, and he's like, for the audiobook listeners, this is a photo where I am dressed.
I do remember all that. Yeah, this is back in the day when that's so funny.
It's hilarious. That's a really good book. I'm still listening to your man Rutger. What's his name, about humankind, which is brilliant. It's what Pronoia should have been.
Right.
Because it's just like, okay, we're painted as horrible, miserable, terrible animals. Actually, we're fucking brilliant. We're really good if you give us a chance. And like, he goes, just like John Ronson does, he goes big into that Harvard experiment about the prison, which was all fake and live.
Yeah.
Like, we did that in college. We did a couple of lectures on that about, drilling it into us how people are shit and they'll always treat each other shit if they're in power. And it's actually, no, not true. Totally not true at all. You know?
That thing isn't true. That experiment isn't true.
The experiment isn't true, because your man who was doing the experiment, the professor, I don't remember his name. He's kind of a...
Yeah, he gets involved in the actual experiment, though, doesn't he?
He was in it as one of the guards.
Yeah.
And he told them to act up.
Right.
Told them to act up and be the guard, you know? And there was one fella in it who, he was a prisoner in it, and he said he enjoyed it for the first day, and was giving them lip and being a bit of a dick. And on the second day, he realised, fuck, I've made a balls of this. So he faked that he went mad.
Oh,
But your man put down in the experiment, one of them cracked after 24 hours.
Right.
You know, and there was other ones,
right.
and there was one fella interviewed, and he was one of the guards, and he said, I was told to be as mean as I could be, so I got them like down on the ground, kissing my shoes, and but this is what I was told to do, like.
Yeah.
Or well, not what I was told, it was hinted to do, so it's all bullshit.
That's your pseudoscience. It's the definition of pseudoscience is just non-double blind, non-scientific, non-aim of religion, method of science approach to life. Like.
But it's mad that like something that's been known and spoken about for 40 years or something.
Yeah, but it's probably widely discredited in actual science circles. It's just that kind of pop science type thing. Or maybe not.
No, but it wasn't. It wasn't until I think Ronson found it out. Or someone around that time anyway. Until then, like when I was in college, this was gospel.
Still,
this was true.
Right, all right, okay.
Yeah. Mad. And it's probably still used in textbooks in school, and maybe your professor doesn't know that it's fake.
Did you read a psychopath book, John Ronson?
No.
Oh, that's good as well.
Yeah.
The Psychopath Test. All his books. Have yet to not read them.
I love the way he writes and reads them.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, there's no airs and graces with him of being like, I'm a writer. I'm so intelligent. It's more like, I'm a fucking Egypt, but I'm going to try and find out something.
And I love when he does the dialogue stuff where, he recounts memories, whatever, but it's all, it's like this really funny, odd kind of inflections of the way it's like, yes, I said. What do you mean? But it works really, really well. Like it's like I scream at him.
He's great. He's brilliant. Yeah, I really, really like him. I wish he'd done more documentary stuff. But then again, he's obviously not into it as much as say Louis Theroux is. But Louis Theroux doesn't write books. There are Louis books.
He's a new one, Louis Theroux.
Yeah, but they're about him really. They're not about the subject.
Yeah.
Which is
there's an interview with the two of them from the beginning of the year where they talk about it. Some BBC.
BBC podcast with the two of them. Yeah, it's good because they talk about this kind of rivalry that they
don't have
that they had and then didn't have, and then they didn't even know why they had it, and it's good. Yeah, it's really good. I'll send you the Joe Campbell thing, and we'll get a better look.
Yeah, and there is a TV show as well, because any of the stuff that you see on YouTube is taken from that TV show. And I did have it downloaded, and I can't find it, so I obviously said, I'll never watch that or something. But it was on Netflix at one point anyway, so it might be worth a
yeah,
search.
the other one that we're going to watch, it's on Amazon in America. Nowhere else. It's not on UK or anything like that.
Is it a new one or is it?
No, it's like 1987. It's old.
Oh, cool. Right.
And they're fuckers. Like it's a weird thing in that like they'll promote him. The Joe Campbell Foundation. They promote him and they put out daily YouTube clips, like 5 or 10 minute long kind of thing. But you can't buy anything on their website. You can't.
Right.
Like this one from 1987 cannot be got. I literally spent 3-4 hours looking for it, and finally on the last. No, everything is always in the last place you find.
Yeah, of course.
The last place you look. Looking. But no, I hadn't stopped looking. I was just like, right, I'll click this. This is the last final link. It was like 10 pages down on Google or something. This is the last one I'm doing. Fuck it, I have enough. There it was. I was like, oh,
Nice.
So
now that I think with your Audible credit, I think the TV show is on Audible as an audio version of it. So I don't know how that would work though. Would it maybe without any kind of visual stuff?
I'll have a look. This is the myths and myths. I found some. I'll send it to you. I found something. Cool. Sound right. See you, Tommy.
Right. Enjoy your 800 calories and your lemon cello or whatever it's called. See you in 3 days where we both go. What? Don't talk to me, Emma.
Bye-bye.
Bye.